Don't waste your newbie gains. Your 2026 guide to finally getting the aesthetic physique, especially if you're skinny fat. So I'm pretty sure you can relate to this, especially if you're skinny fat, that you really did not like how you looked with and without your clothes on. There's way too many information out there. I'm pretty sure you've watched countless of videos. Literally, there's hundreds of videos on the same topic, which only confuses you more on what to do and how to actually overcome your problem. So if you're here to get a solid plan and structure to finally, once for and for all, build a body that you're proud of, you have come to the right video. So let me quickly just go over through my experience. So for me, I personally was skinny fat too, and I wasted most of my optimal time, which was my newbie gains. I could have made my newbie gains, but I wasted it because I was too obsessed about being lean, and I really could not stick with a cut or bulk. When I cut down, I felt like I was getting too scrawny, and I need more size. So when I go back on a bulk, I just ended up looking more fat than I really was. I was looking a bit thicker, but I really did not like how fat my body was getting. So what was I actually supposed to do? Was I supposed to maintain? Maybe. So let's look into it. So to actually finally get aesthetic, the biggest leverage, especially if you're starting out right now, is your newbie gains. Do not waste it. Do not throw away your fastest and your best time for growth, because your body is primed to grow as much as possible during your weight training, because it's getting new stimulus and learning to adapt to it. So if you're especially never touch a weight in your life, please follow these instructions in this video, because most people waste their best chance for fastest growth by wasting the time on the wrong information that they got from the fitness influencers. The worst one I've seen is that they ask you to cut down to 10-12%. First of all, getting that lean, especially when you do not have the muscle mass and metabolism that comes with muscle mass, is extremely hard and requires a lot of energy. And second of all, you are not going to look good at all. You're going to look absolutely crap, and you're going to hate how you look further. So what can you actually do? Like, there's so many. If everything's wrong, what is actually the correct advice? So basically, there are three crucial things. The last one is more of just being patient. Okay, so I know you've already heard this millions of times about diet, sleep, and training, but let me just quickly go through it. Okay, especially diet, which is the main thing you need to focus on. So if you are below 20%, or if you're just plain skinny, do not ever cut. Do not get down to 10%. Do not get down to 12%. Do not get down to 8%. Maybe 15% is fine. If you're around the body fat, is basically the best body fat you have right now, where you won't look too bad, especially when you start putting on more muscle. So what you do need is a 200 calorie slight surplus. I know what you think. Okay? Do not think of it as a bulk or lean back. Do not start coping about getting fat and stuff. Just calm down. Listen to me. Okay? Most bulks fail, especially if it's your first time. Okay, that's why you should not think of this as a bulk at all. Just think of it as your day-to-day lifestyle. Okay, how you eat normally. I want you to trade out your 1 or 2 worst food or snacks with a bit more protein. So maybe if you eat some fries randomly with your food for dinner or something, just trade out half of that for more chicken breast or any source of protein you enjoy, like chicken thighs, maybe beef, maybe fish, maybe even eggs. Okay, just trade them out for something to increase your protein instead. And now you're at maintenance rate, because you traded out the unhealthy snack first and compensated it with, or replaced it with more nutrients and food, ideally more protein. I'm pretty sure you already know how much protein you need just by watching all these videos before. Like 1 grams of protein per pound of body weight around close to that is good enough. For your if you're in kg, it would be like 2 times of that. So so the 200 calories, right? You do not need to be exact. Do not think of tracking it down to the T. What you need is just roughly an extra cup of milk, which is already 100 to 150 calories, depends on if it's low fat or normal milk. And maybe if you have, just optionally add in a scoop of protein powder. You get like close to 30 grams of proteins and also extra calories, and you're done. Okay, do not think of eating more than that. That's more than enough calories to build out over time. You can alternately, if you do not have protein powder, or if you don't want to drink milk, you can add in like 1 or 2 bananas, which is rich in carbs, good for your workout, especially before your workout, and some magnesium, which could help you with rest and recovery, or any nuts if you enjoy eating that, because that will give you a little more calories and also more fat, which is good for your testosterone production, or this extra calories to boost your growth. Sleep, again, I'm pretty sure you heard of this way too many times, but let me just quickly go over it, because I really need to stress the importance of it. Okay, getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep is extremely crucial. Especially more important than that is your sleep schedule. Sleeping at 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., for example, or like 12 to 8, whatever your sleep schedule, stick to it. Do not keep changing it, because your body will get used to its circadian rhythm. Okay, so yeah. Also, finish dinner at least 2 hours before sleep for proper recovery, and also because sometimes if you eat too much food, or even if you eat like food right before you sleep, it's gonna affect how well you recover and stuff. So just don't even try to. I mean, just listen to me. It's better to just finish eating 2-3 hours before you sleep. So finally, for training, do not overcomplicate it. When you're a beginner, all you need to do is just try out, especially your first few weeks, just try out all the machines in your gym, and choose 3 to 4 of the ones that you enjoy doing the most for each body part: chest, back, arms, shoulders, legs. And then you start off with 1 set per week, or 1 to 2 sets per week for each of that body part. And every week you want to add in 1 extra set. Once you finally reach to 3 to 4 sets per exercise, which will bring you to like, let's say 4 workouts with 3 sets each will be like 12 sets per week per body fat, per body part, which is more than good enough to start. Do not focus on overly high volume training. You want to focus on pushing hard and recovering well. Okay, and the rep range doesn't matter. It can be close to 5 or close to 15, or anything between like 8 to 12 is the most recommended for hypertrophy, but either works. Okay, don't over stress about it, and just add weights every week, especially when it starts getting light. And then what you need to do is that do not worry about the splits. Okay, there's so many splits out there. Any split will work as long as you enjoy it. Like push-pull legs, Arnold split, or any split works, honestly. And once you reach, so also do not do high intensity cardio, especially like running on your training days, because running is like the worst thing you can do. For it increases your cortisol and really impacts your muscle growth, especially if you do like 20 to 30 minutes on your training days. Maybe on your recovery days or like cardio days you can do that, but ideally I recommend an alternative like sprints are better for like very short times, 5 to 10 minutes, or swimming, cycling, maybe sports. All those are probably better than running in my opinion, but if you do enjoy it, just don't do it on your training days. Okay, so finally, the most crucial thing right now is consistency. I mentioned to you before how I was sticking to a cut for a while, then I changed to a barbell, then to a cut. This just keeps me in the same spot. If I stuck to one of those, at least I would have reached an end point, right? So right now, you look skinny, fat, because you do not have enough muscle and you're higher body fat than ideal. So what you need to do is just train to turn off your brain. Just to do not think about anything else. Do not think about how you feel you look. Don't think about the fat that is growing on the body. Just close your eyes. Stick to the slight 200 calories or plus, which doesn't have to be exact. Like I said, some days might be 100, some days might be 300. But don't overeat, okay? And stick to this for a year. And if you're somewhat consistent, or as close to consistent as possible, you would have gained 10 kg or 20 pounds. And more than likely, this is 50% of them is going to be muscle. And for some people, especially the genetics is really good, or they will like optimize everything, they might have gained more than that. So remaining, you would have maybe put on 5 kg or 10 pounds of fat over the course of a year, which wouldn't be that noticeable, to be honest. And it can be burned off within 2 to 3 months. Because the first year is the most gains you can make. Let me emphasize how important it is, because you could potentially make 50% of your lifetime gains, or at least close to it, just in your first year if you optimize everything. After that, things get a lot harder and slower. But it's not impossible to make back those gains. I'm not saying that you miss out on those gains, as in like you can never grow that big. You can always you can always grow up till your genetic potential. It's just that if you optimize your NEWBIE gains, you're gonna get there faster. And the biggest indicator in how you're progressing is obviously in how you look. Just take a weekly picture in the same lighting every week and see over the course of months how you're looking. If you're looking like roughly same body fat, or slightly fatter but much better in terms of muscle mass, then yeah, you're heading in the right direction. Obviously, track your weights too, but do not obsess too much about it, because you're not going to notice too much weight difference on a week-to-week basis, maybe in a month-to-month. And also your strength on compound lifts. I really recommend you to stick to progressive overloading on your, no matter what workouts you do, at least stick to keep your bench and squat. Deadlifts is optional, but bench and squat, and see how they're progressing from your first month all the way to month 12. If you put on like drastic, or like you've been improving a lot on those lifts, then honestly, like you've already made the most gains you can in that year, the first year of training. After that, you can like focus on leaning out a bit, cutting down a bit. I mean, the first 2 years are the most crucial, but like you can, after first year, you can like, you don't have to obsess too much about bulking or like gaining muscle, because you'll probably put on a decent size. Like 10 pounds is actually quite noticeable of muscle, and then when you lean down a bit, it's going to look much better than if you just cut in the first month of training. So yeah, I mean, best of luck to you guys. 2026 is probably, for some of you, your first time entering a gym, and I really wish you could do your best and make the most gains you can. Alright, learn from my mistakes and do your best.